Hey there, investors. It's time for a beverage do-over. That's right. It was 14 weeks ago when we looked at the beverage industry, and last week we looked at a large number of companies, including the beverage companies, and I promised that we would take a deeper dive into the beverage industry. So here we go. We're diving in to Brown-Forman, Coke, and Pepsi. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell so you don't miss a single episode, and tell your friends about it so they can join in the discussion as well. Now we're diving right in to the beverage companies with a quick refresher. Brown-Forman, our first company, BFB, their dividend yield is 1.2% on $56.04. Now, Brown-Forman is not qualified in cash flow or earnings per share, but they are qualified as a Div 0. So, 17 years of increasing dividends per share, no flat years in there. Brown-Forman is in the alcohol business. They are engaged in the production and marketing of distilled spirits and wines. Their major brands include Jack Daniel's, Finlandia, Canadian Mist, and Korbel. For those of you that look at this as a sin stock, this is the only one of the alcohol companies that makes it to our list. All right, now some people might consider Coca-Cola a sin stock, depending on your view of sugary beverages. So Coca-Cola is next up. It's filled with green because I own shares in Coca-Cola. Their ticker is KO. Their yield is 3.1%. That's filled with gold because they are greater than the 2.6% benchmark that I use. Their valid price is $51.59. Now, they are not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share, but they are a Div 0. 17 years of increasing dividends per share. Now, Coca-Cola is pretty much a pure beverage play. They're the world's largest non-alcoholic beverage company. They market over 500 beverage brands through a network of company-owned and independent bottlers, distributors, wholesalers, and retailers. And of course, their leading brands include Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, Sprite, Fanta, Fresca, Dasani, Glacial Vitamin Water, Powerade, and Minute Maid. Now, their arch rival in this game is PepsiCo. Now, Pepsi is not a pure beverage play. Pepsi, PEP, yield 2.9% on $131.74. They are not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share, but they also are a Div 0. So, they're not a pure beverage play. Of course, we all know that their beverage brands include Pepsi-Cola, Gatorade, and Tropicana, but they also have some food plays. So Quaker Foods, and then snack food brand Frito-Lay. Now, within Frito-Lay, you've got Doritos and Ruffles and Lay's, and then they also have Walker, Smiths, and Sabritas. So Pepsi represents an interesting twist because they're doing both the beverages and the snack foods. All right, well, let's lay that out against each other and see what this means. We start out with the cash flow per share, and you can see that PepsiCo is clearly outperforming Coke or Brown-Forman. If we look at the earnings per share, we again see that PepsiCo is outperforming Coke and Brown-Forman. And then we go down to the dividend per share, and again we see that on a dollar per share basis, PepsiCo is outperforming Coke or Brown-Forman. But look at this. Pepsi has only got a yield of 2.9%, where Coke's yield is 3.1%. All right, so what does that really mean? Let's go ahead and look at the math here real quick. If you took Brown-Forman, Coke, Pepsi, and you lay them side by side, you look at the cost per share, Brown-Forman 56, Coke 51, Pepsi 131. Let's say you had $1,000 that you were going to invest. All right, so rounding to a whole number here for that $1,000, you'd end up with 18 shares of Brown-Forman, 19 shares of Coke, and 8 shares of Pepsi. At a dividend per share of 68 cents a share for Brown-Forman, $1.66 a share for Coke, and $4 a share for Pepsi, what you end up with is $12.13 Brown-Forman, $32.18 for Coke, and $30.36 for Pepsi. So out of that $1,000 investment, you're going to do best by investing in Coca-Cola by about $2 a share. So don't necessarily let the dollar per share value influence your decision. You need to look at that dividend yield and then ask yourself, if I was to put $1,000 into both companies, which one would give me the greatest yield? Now, it's also not quite that simple, because very importantly, you have to say to yourself, which one do I think is going to be the best long run play? Now, that's going to be more than just your dividends. For the income side, are both companies strong? Who's going to give the most bang for the buck? When I say both, I'm referring to Coke and Pepsi. And so there you got to say to yourself, do I like the pure play beverage of Coca-Cola, or am I more comfortable that Pepsi has the stronger long run because they're diversified into the snack food and other products as well as beverages? So you got some interesting decisions to make here. Again, just in total disclaimer, I am long in Coca-Cola. I am thinking about getting into Pepsi only because I like the fact that it would help to split that up and play the middle a little bit, but I haven't committed to that. Let me know what you think. Do you own any one of these three? Who is your favorite in the battle with the beverage companies, Coke or Pepsi? And what are your thoughts in doing the pure play beverage or having some Pepsi-Cola, which is into the snack foods? The other thing I'd like to hear is, what do you think about owning both of them? Is that a cop-out? Should you commit one way or the other? Or have the mixed bag and let them battle it out in your favor? Please leave your comments down below. I look forward to reading all of them and responding to you as you play it out. Have a great week, everybody.